And joining us now live to discuss the president's Freedom Haulers program is Eric Lionheart, U.S. Army veteran and founder of First There. Thank you for joining us so early this morning, Eric. What are your thoughts on the president's Freedom Haulers plan?
It's my pleasure being here. I think it's great, right? President Trump and his administration put America's safety first, and obviously they're giving a chance for veterans to continue their purpose, serving their country. I think it's a great initiative.
Now, Eric, what do you think uniquely qualifies veterans for this type of work?
Well, I think just as Secretary Duffy outlined, and Secretary Collins outlined, where that veterans and military personnel, when they join the military, they're put in charge of great responsibility. That's equipment, heavy equipment. Even when I joined the military, I mean, I was driving deuce and a half, which is pretty close to an 18-wheeler. I mean, not as long, but a pretty big piece of machinery. So I think it's just, using Americans, veterans, to help the supply chain and keep it safe. So I think it's an easy fit, and it'll be pretty quick for a pretty quick transition for veterans that are getting out of the service.
Now, the president had cited that there were 30 deaths last year caused by illegal immigrants in crashes, and 24,000 commercial drivers were removed from the roads because they weren't proficient in basic English and the ability to read road signs, things of that nature. So how do we get into a situation where someone who can't read the road signs was behind essentially a 40-ton semi?
Well, I think we would have to go back 4 years, right, when the Biden administration took over to figure out how they just waived that right. And I mean, just basic English and road signs. It's pretty astonishing that that's the way the country was being led, and that was okay with them. And then the deaths that happened on American roadways, again, it was just something that they didn't care about. It was just them filling seats, and that maybe the DEI policies that they had in place that made, I mean, everything was crumbling around America. And I mean, in Austin, Texas, there was a huge accident that caused many lives on I-35. So it was astonishing, and it's pretty sad that that's the way that Biden administration ran things back then.
Yeah, now this program is intended to sort of reinvigorate and reach out to the veteran community. In your view, at this moment, what is the state of the veteran community?
I think they're hyped up. I think it's great. They have a president that's not a lame duck president that's doing things for them, and giving them purpose again to take care of America, the supply chain, keeping it safe. Also with President Trump initiatives of the psychedelics and giving them raises in active duty. I mean, veterans are happy to. It's just this great thank you for serving your country and giving up a lot of things we gave up as young men and women. So to serve our country again, it's a great honor.
And outside of this particular initiative, which of course can only reach so many veterans, more broadly, how does the veteran community feel about the Trump administration's efforts to look out for their well-being? Not just comparing it to the previous administration, but maybe if you take more of a long-term view, how are veterans feeling about the services they're being provided? Things like PTSD. Obviously, veterans have a much higher suicide rate when compared with the civilian population. So how is that going right now for veterans?
Well, I think it's great. It's gratitude that we feel, right, from this president, this administration, compared to the last one. Like I said earlier, he's not only the president, the initiatives on psychedelics, the ability for the VA, Doug Collins working close with all veteran. I think I received an email that the VA opened at, I think, 10,000 or 20,000 clinics. That number might be completely off, but it was quite a bit of clinics. But they're taking care of the American warfighter and people, like I said earlier, that it gave up so much of their youth to support this country. And it's coming back, a hundredfold. I always feel thankful when people say, "Hey, thank you for your service," and it means quite a bit because during the time that I served, and a lot of these people served, it was 20 plus years of war, and now you have the Venezuela conflict, and you have Iran. It's going to have a lot of veterans that are going to be getting out of the military, and luckily we're going to have these executive actions put in place that are going to help veterans transition into the civilian world and be thankful and feel taken care of for what they did for our country. So this president, I think, is doing the right thing, and I think he's doing what all the other presidents should have done in the past. So I think veterans feel great and they feel appreciated for their efforts.
And can you tell us a bit about the work that you're doing with First There?
Sure. Thank you for asking me that. First, their foundation is it's going on 5 years, and we take care of veterans. It's a little bit different than most. We're an unconventional nonprofit for unconventional people, and what we do is I think organizations out there take care of the mind and body, and we also take care of their soul. Which I believe that if your soul's broken, it's not going to heal quite as fast. So, with the initiative that President Trump came out with a few months ago with psychedelics, we've been helping people with that, and it's been life saving. There's friends of mine and teammates and some of their family members who were at the brink of suicide, and with psychedelics, it's helped them. Plant medicine, being ayahuasca and psilocybin, has done tremendously. So our flagship program called Operation Soul Rescue, we take these veterans on a trip to either Montana or Costa Rica, and it just helps them tremendously. It helps them heal their soul, and it helps them get rid of trauma and PTSD. And obviously, there's still some integration that deals with that with Western medicines and psychologists and the VA programs that they're out there. But man, we're helping people become whole again and reclaim their mental health.
Well, it's great work that you're doing. We really appreciate you joining us this morning. Eric Lionheart, what a pleasure.
Thank you so much.